one that thinks about how cats literally have superpowers. Like, these things were worshipped for a reason. For starters, cats literally have the ability to heal themselves. When they purr, they emit what is known as a healing frequency. This healing frequency not only heals themselves, but it also provides therapeutic medicine for humans. Cats can also literally defy gravity. Cats have something called a riding reflex that allows them to determine the difference between up and down, even when they're mid-flight. This is why they're able to twist their bodies mid-air and make sure that they will always just land on their feet. And yeah, when they do that, it literally slows their descent. Like, the momentum of their fall slows down over time. Like, what? But nothing is more impressive about the domestic house cat than their vertical leap. Cats have the insane ability to jump not 2, not 3, but 6 times their height. Now, it's near impossible for us to truly wrap our heads around how crazy that is, so this is going to be the best that I can do. Michael Jordan currently holds the record for the highest vertical leap, jumping a whopping 4 feet into the air. But if Michael Jordan had the ability to jump 6 times his height, he would have the ability to jump 40 feet into the air without warning, without training, without even having a running start. Am I the only one that thinks about how cats literally have superpowers? Like, these things were worshipped for a reason. For starters, cats literally have the ability to heal themselves. When they purr, they emit what is known as a healing frequency. This healing frequency not only heals themselves, but it also provides therapeutic medicine for humans. Cats can also literally defy gravity. Cats have something called a riding reflex that allows them to determine the difference between up and down.
Cat's pretty cool, but I had this one friend that had a cat, and late at night, that cat used to dart around all crazy. Used to scare the out of me.
Okay, every single video that you're going to see behind me has been created by artificial intelligence. So this is OpenAI's new text-to-video generator. You give it a line of text, such as this description right below me, the AI will spit out a pretty impressive video. At this point in time, it can only generate videos that are up to about 1 minute in length. But the quality is really impressive, and we can expect those video lengths to get longer and longer over time. There are 3 things that I want you to walk away with from this post. The first, an entirely new type of creator has just been born. The second, our challenges around misinformation and disinformation just got a lot bigger. And third, remember, these AI systems are now becoming multimodal. So right now you give it a line of text and it can spit out a video, but the pipeline is, here's a video, turn it into an image, a blog post, give me notes on it. I mean, think about what's about to be unlocked when artificial intelligence can analyze every single video and unlock insights on it, can return information to us in the form of video. It's about to get really interesting.
OpenAI has unveiled its new text-to-video model. It's calling it Sora. It generates videos up to 1 minute long based on whatever prompt a user types into a text box. Take this, for example. If you use the prompt, the camera directly faces colorful building in Burano, Italy. An adorable Dalmatian looks through a window on a building on the ground floor. Many people are walking and cycling along the canal streets in front of the buildings. This is what you get.
Man, that's crazy.
Wow. Look at that. We're done. I think it's time to hand in your resignation, everybody. They're just going to say, give me Sarah Eisen, Mike Santoli, and David Faber in digital form and, you know, have them top my stocks.
Nah.
No.
Garbage.
That's garbage?
Well, they couldn't get it. They couldn't possibly get it accurate.
This is the first. I mean, what's this thing going to look like in 2 years, 3 years?
So who does this displace, right? It's graphic designers, video editors.
You want another one? Let's see. We got another prompt here. Step printing scene of a person running, cinematic film shot in 35 millimeter. All right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But he's running backward on the treadmill.
I can't quite figure out what that is.
Not quite there yet.
It's shot in 35 millimeter, though. It did it. I mean.
Look, the problem is we already have this problem with deep fakes. Taylor Swift is up in arms about this. And this is an election year. So for this technology to come to the fore when the U.S. and 60% of the world population is going to the polls, like that is very scary. And Nick Clegg is going to join us next hour from Meta to talk about this. Yeah,
well, I'm curious to hear what they say. They talk about watermarking, but there are so many different ways around these things that it does raise the real possibility. I mean, forget deep fakes. They got to come up with another word at this point.
I don't know, though. Did that Dalmatian look truly lifelike, like it was videoed?
Yes.
Did it?
I mean, I mean, yes, for the first iteration of this, I think
Exactly.
it's
First iteration.
You're calling out the Dalmatian.
Where are they
You can
gonna
tell
be?
that that's not a real Dalmatian.
I'm sticking to my prediction. We're all done for.
AI is starting to come up. If they're releasing the images to the public, imagine what they doing that we don't know about. But besides that, can you imagine what this is going to do to the videography field and stuff like that? Music videos, even movies. That's crazy. Look like a cigar floating. I don't know. Could be CGI. But in today's world, it can be real too. Look at the way it's glowing at the bottom, but it's more dense at the top. Imagine going scuba diving and pull up on one of those.
The media wants you to believe that every time there's a war, it's over money, oil, or land. No. Anytime there is a war going on this planet, they are fighting over stargates. There are 12 stargates on this planet. 12. 1 + 2 is 3. That's why the media always uses the number 3 to make things manifest. That's why the Super Bowl was always about number 3. What's going on this planet is this. They use our energy as a key to open up different stargates. Whoever controls the energy on this planet get to control the stargates on this planet. And whoever controls the stargates can let any kind of energy in and off of this planet. That's why it's always about fear. Fear, fear, fear. Because the fear actually let in demonic energies through the stargates. Why do you think we can't go to Antarctica? Antarctica is really the 3rd stargate. You ever wonder why the first numbers we see, or the angel numbers we see, is 1111? 1111 represents 2 doors, 2 stargates. A door to let you off the planet, and a door to let you in on this planet. That's why they say monitor your thoughts when you see 1111, because it really is a stargate. But this is the hidden piece they don't want to tell us. There are 12 stargates on this planet. But the people, we represent the 13 stargates. Once all of our energy come together and we become one again, we will be the 13th stargate. We will be the stargate that let in angelic life forms on this planet. But as long as we are controlled by fear, we will be stuck on number 12. 12 months of the year, 12 numbers on the clock. We got the 12 stargates. What about the 13? Why do you think they tell us number 13 is bad luck? Number 13 is not bad luck. We are number 13 because we are the 13th stargate. These people don't go to war for money, oil, and land. They are fighting over stargates. Whoever controls the stargates control the matrix.
I heard a little bit about these stargates, but I don't know too much. If there's something out there that powerful, then I'm sure it will be a fight for control.
I'm sorry, what is happening in the UK? What? Nah. No, I've seen a lot of people saying this could be Rishi Sunak doing this, so yeah, let me know your thoughts, who knows. So, apparently the UK could literally become an ice block next year. I'm sorry? So apparently we are approaching a huge global climate change tipping point, essentially, which will change everything. Now, according to research done, this big change could be coming from next year. Powerful ocean currents which bring warmth to the northern hemisphere are basically going, and due to melting glaciers, these could just stop completely. So if this did happen, we would literally be living like something straight out of a film, like The Day After Tomorrow or flipping Snowpiercer. Brilliant. But of course, scientists have said that this could cause catastrophic impacts to life if it does happen. Of course, bringing freezing temperatures to Europe, food shortages, water shortages, power outages. It would be absolutely flipping freezing, like we're in the Arctic or something. Disaster. But then we would have more extreme heat waves in the summer. So yeah, maybe it's worth it. But yeah, this could happen. Is it going to happen? Probably not, is it? Probably not. But yeah, hit that follow button and I'll keep you updated.
Department of Energy is offering $100 million to anyone who can help solve the carbon dioxide problem. Carbon dioxide absorbs and radiates heat, unlike oxygen and nitrogen, which is the bulk of our atmosphere. They don't absorb heat. Some greenhouses are good. Without them, the dark side of the earth would plunge into frigid temperatures every night. Too much greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, and you get Venus, a hellscape of acid rain at 800-degree temperatures. And when I say that we should colonize this before Mars, I'm talking about in the atmosphere, not here. Solving this problem comes down to 3 basic methods. 1, biomass, using things like trees and algae to naturally pull carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, which it does anyway. 2, mineralization, so crushing up something like magnesium or calcium and dousing it on rocks, which it then loves to absorb the carbon dioxide. 3, a mixture of both of those, or straight up sucking it out of the sky. But that's really expensive and probably weird. It's not that we don't know how to filter carbon dioxide, it's doing it on a large enough scale for it to actually have an impact. The sky is pretty big. Applications are due April 16th. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Hey, I've been up all night trying to figure this out. Hey, y'all gonna try to partake in this right here? That's a lot of money up for grabs.
In 1965, Professor R. Foster challenged the corrupt scientific complex by stating that landing on the moon was an impossibility. It is an impossibility, according to Foster, because the moon is plasma and not solid. Here is what he said in an interview.
What is your theory? Well, it is by now rather more than a theory. Same way 11 years ago, I stated to various scientists that the moon is not a piece of rock, but it is a plasma phenomena, cosmic plasma, and that this fact will eventually be confirmed. I made certain predictions which were already confirmed in 1958, and the situation now is coming close to a complete confirmation. Scientific views expressed all over the world now that the moon seems to be of a quite different nature from what was assumed.
But the Americans and Russians are thinking of landing Venus.
Well, that will never happen.
Our own access to technology in recent years has allowed us to investigate the moon in more detail. And through this we see over and over again varying instances of the moon behaving in a way that debunks a lie that it is a ball of rock. We see with our own eyes a semi-transparent moon, either at night or while there is still daylight. We see the sky through the moon. Sometimes it is even possible to see stars directly through the moon. Many have repeatedly demonstrated that moonlight is colder than the shade at night, and therefore it cannot be reflected sunlight as it possesses no residual warmth. We also know that spherical objects do not reflect light. By the laws of reflection, the light concentrates into a highlight point and does not reflect. You can also see frequent crescent moons when both the moon and the sun are within close proximity of each other, meaning that it is impossible for the sun to be cast in the Earth's shadow onto the moon.
What are moon craters? Well, first of all, you have to understand that the moon is plasma, noble gases. So that would explain what your craters in the moon are. Those craters happen during creation. When God made the moon is when those craters appeared. That's why it's always been the same craters on the moon since the invention of the telescope. There's not one new crater up there. All these years, it's all the same craters because they were all formed during the creation of the moon. And the craters are a result of gas entrapment, which means when the moon was being created, the gas entrapment bubbles would burst and cause a crater after they burst. Now, for example, you see this crater here? You see this crater here? And this crater here? And this crater here? You notice how they have that little tiny dot right in the center of them?
Like a little
that is where the bubble burst and receded back down into itself, forming the crater. Now, for example, check out this picture of gas entrapment bubbles in epoxy. Now, notice this gas bubble here has that identical little dot in it. And this gas bubble here has the same little dot in it. Not every single one of them do, but several of them do. Just like in the moon. Not all the craters have that little dot, but a lot of them do. Now, let's compare the gas bubble craters in the epoxy with the gas bubble craters in the moon. As you can see, they are identical. So, like I said before, being that the moon is made of plasma, noble gases, that would explain why you have these gas entrapment bubbles that have burst and left craters. And then again, I could be just totally wrong, but you ask a question and that's my theory on it. And like I said before, since the invention of the telescope, there are no new craters on the moon. There's not been one new crater on the moon since we've been able to see the craters on the moon. And I've looked at the moon through telescopes and cameras for hours and hours and hours, and never have I seen a asteroid or a so-called meteor hit the moon and leave a new crater. So that leaves the funny question of asking yourself, well, how did all these craters form from asteroids and meteors, and then all of a sudden in all of our lifetime, they just stop hitting the moon, stop making craters? So, now if you believe in the theory that the moon is a big rock up in space with moon dust, and that asteroids and meteors made these craters and hit this solid rock all the time, well, you would be looking up into the sky, and this is what you would be seeing all the time. Now, this is computer generated, but I'm just showing you, if you believe this theory, this is what you would be seeing with your own eyes all the time. But anyways, thanks for watching, and God bless.
This gas bubble here, this gas bubble here, this gas bubble here. Those craters do look like grits when they start to bubble.
We walked over to one side of the lab and he said, by the way, we've discovered a base on the back side of the moon. And I said, whose? What do you mean, whose? He said, yes, we've discovered a base on the back side of the moon. And at that point, I became frightened and I was a little terrified, thinking to myself that if anybody walks in the room now, I know we're in jeopardy, we're in trouble, because he shouldn't be giving me this information.
Hey,
I was fascinated by it, but I also knew that he was overstepping a boundary that he shouldn't be stepping over. And then he pulled out one of these mosaics and showed this base, which had geometric shapes. There were towers, there were spherical buildings, there were very tall towers and things that looked somewhat like radar dishes, but they were large structures. So I didn't say any more to him because I was concerned again that somebody was going to come in at any moment, would catch us having this conversation, and we would be in real trouble. I realized that he was telling me this information because he didn't have anybody else to talk to. So it was rare that someone would do something like this, but this fellow and I were the same rank. I think he was very distressed. He had the same pallor and demeanor as the scientists outside the room. They were just as concerned as he was, and he needed to discuss it with somebody. So that was the end of it right there. I didn't take it any further than that. I just filed it away. But the interesting thing, every day that I went home, I would think to myself, I can't wait to hear about this on the news, And, so I'd turn on the TV and I'd look at the news to see if they're going to announce, we've discovered a base on the backside of the moon, being really naive, And, of course, here it is 30-some years later, and we still haven't heard about it.
For that to be up there that many years, there's definitely something on there. Something. But who knows, man.
But today we're going to talk about dolmens, and this goes back to geomancy, if you guys remember all of that when people were connected to the rocks. So there's different assortments in which you can set up in your backyard to increase the energy. And what you can do is you can find a dowsing rod, and the spot that spirals the most, you would put the stone, just like this, the sandstone, up on top in the center, and then this assortment. And these will create higher energetic spots for birds, for pollinators, for wildlife. And what's funny is I always see all the horses, they're always sitting right over here. And then I always see all the birds sitting over here, but they know where the energy spots are, and we're just amplifying them with stones. And if we look at the other side, we can see, there you go, all those beautiful little plants underneath there. But what this rock is doing is it's also collecting the monatomic dew. Every time we wake up, there's a beautiful healing dew that's all over everything. That's what it's collecting.
These are scenes from the aftermath of the mud flood, the realm-wide cataclysmic event that happened in the last 150 to 200 years that buried most of this world we know in meters of mud. And you can see that in these shots here. Anytime we dig right below the surface, it seems we find signs of our lost history. In fact, if you see a building in your town that was from the 1900s or earlier, good chances are it's a mud-flooded building. You ever wonder why those cornerstones on the building say founded? Because they weren't constructed, not by us anyways. They were found free masonry. Same with your cities. They were founded on a certain date. There was a founder of the city. And then they were slowly repopulated by the foundlings of the orphan trains, orphan asylums. And as I said, once the eyes are opened, you can start seeing this evidence all around you, hidden in plain sight. So take a look in your hometown, especially on the main street. Let us know in the comments if you see signs of our buried history in your town. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
I have seen buildings that look like they was constructed on top of an old building. Was it a mud flood or did it just get covered up and constructed over?
So apparently the moon landing has been confirmed fake by Putin. Check this out, y'all. Read carefully.
Фото ей кажется ненастоящим. В то же время вот фотография китайского лунохода у нее особенно вопросов не вызывает. А это то, что кажется не настоящим? Да, да, вот то, что красное, это как бы волос, понимаешь? Не было предвзятости. Удивительно, но там точно вот... Она смотрит по очень много параметров, в том числе там, падение светотеней и так далее, и показывает, что инкорпорировано.
So what you just seen was Google's artificial intelligence analyzing the moon landing photos. And the AI itself said that those photos are fake. And on top of this, NASA admitted that they lost the moon landing footages. And we should all know that that's a cover-up, just like somebody saying, my dog ate my homework. And yes, you can go on YouTube and look it up for yourself. Personally, the reason why I believe that the moon landing is fake, for one, I believe in the firmament. So there would absolutely be no way for them to send rockets up to space or satellites. And two, if you go Google Wernher von Braun's tombstone, he has a Bible verse on there that speaks of the firmament. And my thing is, if America is founded on "In God We Trust," how come they go against their own Bible and claim that the earth is a globe when in Genesis it says that there's a firmament? And the facts is all there. You can go do the research on your own. And I know it's easier to believe a lie rather than convincing somebody that they've been lied to. With that being said, you can go do your own research and the truth shall set you free. Or you could just take my word for it.
Has anybody else been having problems with technology the past few days? I have, and I'm starting to wonder if the solar flares are actually happening, if they're affecting it. In the past few days alone, I've had problems with the cable on the TV. It goes out, you gotta reboot it to start it again. My phone, all of a sudden it starts glitching. I'm not kidding. It glitches, and like different apps started to pop up. What the heck? Even my tablet that I watch my streaming services on started to have problems. Then I see they're talking about solar flares again. And while most of the time I think they're just exaggerating, I'm wondering if this time something actually happened. Because I'll tell you what, it affected a live stream I had. I was live and everything started glitching. It just started glitching. It was going in and out. Then I tried to use the Wi-Fi and it wouldn't connect. And my Wi-Fi is about as good as it gets. But for some reason, it just took forever to connect. So I'm wondering if we're actually having a real problem with this. Is this happening? If you've been experiencing problems with technology like me lately, please let me know in the comment section. Shabadoo Bushkis.
Have anyone been affected by these flares? My sleep been a little off, but...
See that? What the fuck is that? There's two of them. Where's the other one?
Little ball just strolling along. Nothing to see here, guys.
Look what the hell that is.
taking little tours.
Yes, I don't. I don't know where that was.
Planets coming here for vacation and just kind of touring.
That's one there.
There's UK over there.
What's that? What in the name of fuck is that? It's probably like, it's really low, so it's got the height of a
Here is like
building.
going to see the Titanic.
It's not like up in the sky. What in the name of hell? What is that? Yeah, so there's two. Where's this? I don't know where the second one's went. Right, I'm just going to focus on this one. There was two. Oh no, there's like. There's a second. I've literally no idea what they are, but I think they're getting lower. Right, that one. They're going down.
Yo, I'm losing my freaking mind. The same exact aliens they showed in the Super Bowl commercial, some dude caught on film in traffic. Wait. Look at this. Is that not the same thing that we just saw in the ad? I'm about to show it to you again. This is blowing my freaking mind. Look at this. This is absurd.
Boy, that's a lot of leaves.
This is... My mind is so blown right now. I mean, seriously, this is insane. Like, think about the implications of this subliminal broadcasted mass message they just gave us. Look at this.
If it can be,
and great work to the guy who caught this. His ad is right up there. If you see anything crazy, send it to me. I'm telling you guys, this is coming. This is our future. You're going to see it whether you want to or not, whether you're ready or not. They are coming. And yes, they exist. Yes, they're flesh. And there's so much more that you don't know. I hope you're ready for it. I'm psyched. We get to be the generation that sees the alien invasion. How awesome is that?